Hello students. Now already we have solved section 1 and section 2. So today we are going to solve section 3. So in this video we are having part B of section 3. So of 12th computer science. So in this you can see question number 24 to 33. Total 10 questions are there, and this is a descriptive part. Section B, part B is, so here 2 marks question, in which 25 and 27 two questions, any two questions will have internal choice. So we don't know which two questions will have. So let us solve all the questions here. That is, we are going to solve today section 3. So here you can see this is the section 3 and given by CBSE board. So here you are having part B. It is written part B section 1, that is overall paper section 3 it is. Now we will start solving. The first question is, evaluate the following expressions: 6 into 3 plus 4 to the power 2, then floor division 5 minus 8. So we have already done the precedence of operators. Now in the precedence of operators we have already seen that from left to right, first the into, that is 6 3 the 18, and 4 to the power 2 is 4 4 the 16. So here 18 plus 16. Now double slash 5. So 16 double slash 5 means the floor division. So 5 3 the 15. So here you can see, let me solve this. So here 6 3 the 18 we are having. After that plus sign is there. So in precedence we have done, first this to the power will be solved. So 4 4 the 16. Then double slash 5 means 16 double slash 5. So the integer part will be here. So 5 3 the 15. So here 3 and minus 8. So this is, now what will be the answer here? The answer will be equals to 13. So the answer will be 13. You can see the answer on the right hand side. Answer is 13. Now the next question is, 10 is greater than 5, true. So we have used here all the relational and logical operators. So 10 is greater than 5 is true, and 7 is greater than 12 is false. So and will be, this true and false will be false, or not 18 means 0. Not means just the reverse. 18 is a value. So not 18 will be 0, and 0 is greater than 3 is false. So false or false will be false. You can see here 10 is greater than 5 is true, but and is there in between. And means when both the conditions will be true, then only the output will be true. The second condition is 7 is greater than 12 is false. So here and means this will become false. So the output of these two, since and is there, will become false here. Next is not 18. 18 is a value, and not 18 will give you 0 is greater than 3. So here it will be 0 is greater than 3 is false. So false, and you have used here or. So false or false will be, or is used here. So false or false will be false. So the answer will be false. Now how it is written in copy, F will be capital and the other things, that is F capital, ALSC will be small, as it displays in computer also like this. So answer will be false. Next is, differentiate between viruses and worms in context of networking and data communication threats. So viruses, actually viruses, worms and Trojan horse are the different types of viruses. But since they have used here viruses in the definition of virus, they have given here about Trojan horse by CBSE. So we will prepare like that only. So viruses are the malicious programs which just are hidden in the host programs, in any host program, It can be any games or any Excel sheets. And then when it is used, that program is used, that spreadsheet or games is used, since it is hidden in that, it will simply come and damage our important files or bootable files, and then we will have problem in using the computers. And worms are not dependent on any, it is standalone malicious programs, means it comes alone without being hidden in any host program, and these simply copies and replicates and fills your memory. So after some time it will show your memory is full. So let us see what is given in the answer here. Viruses require an active host program and or an already infected and active operating system in order for viruses to run, cause damage and infect other executable files or documents. So it is hidden in some host program, number one, and then it damages our executable files or documents. It is hidden and it requires some other program. And whereas worms are not hidden, worms are your standalone malicious programs, and it does not require any other games or spreadsheets or any other host programs. And second is it self-replicates, it gets copied, and it fills your memory. So this is the difference between virus and worms. Next is differentiate between web server and web browser. Server is used to serve with the information, and browser we browse to get some information. So web servers are the computers or the system, complete system, which provides information, serves with the information to all the clients or the browsers, whereas web browsers are the clients where informations are asked for. Like example, in Google search we are asking for information in the browsers. Browsers can be any browser. You can use Chrome, you can use Firefox, Internet Explorer, any browser you can use. So where we are putting the queries in browsers, and it is sent to the server, and server will get that information from the other servers, from other clients, and then it will provide us with that information. So here you can see the definition which is given here, that is web browser is a software application for accessing information on the World Wide Web. When a user requests a web page from a particular website, the web browser retrieves the necessary content from the web server and then displays the page on the user device. And web server is a computer that runs websites. The basic objective of the web server is to store, process and deliver web pages. This is the main thing. It will simply store your information, process it, and then it will deliver the information which you have asked for. This intercommunication is done using Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and the popular web browsers you all know: Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox and Internet Explorer. So this is your answer of this question. Now the next question is the full forms. So here you can see SMTP, XML, LAN, IPR. So these all you have already done. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, Extensible Markup Language. So first one is SMTP. We are always using when we are sending mails. The protocol which is used is SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. XML is Extensible Markup Language, and HTML is Hypertext Markup Language. LAN is Local Area Networking. So LAN, MAN, WAN, PAN. So all four you prepare it. They can ask anyone. So LAN is Local Area Network, MAN is Metropolitan Area Network, WAN is Wide Area Network, and PAN is Personal Area Network. Next is IPR, Intellectual Property Rights. So these we have already done, the full forms. Now next question is differentiate between actual parameter and formal parameters. So this questions, here you can see internal choices there. Now already actual parameters, formal parameters we have done. So actual parameters, why in a function when we are calling the function, we are giving the values or the variables to the function. So there we are using actual parameter, and in the function header, that is def, then the name of the function calc, and in bracket a comma b. So this a comma b are the formal parameters which are taking the values from the actual parameter. So differences is, now if it is of 2 marks, you can write here mainly two differences with one example. So actual parameters are the parameters or arguments which is used in the function call statement, and the values of actual parameters are given to the formal parameters, whereas formal parameters are the parameters or arguments used in the function header, where def keyword is used in the function header, and it takes the value from the actual parameters. Now formal parameters, there we are using many different types, like our default parameters, our positional parameters, many different parameters are there, so that we can explain here. So let us see what CBSE has given the answer. Now the answer is, the list of identifiers used in a function calls, function call we will use here, is called actual parameter, whereas the list of parameters used in the function definition is called formal parameter. So we will use here function definition or function header. Next is actual parameters may be value, variables or expressions, and formal parameters is always an identifier. It cannot be a value, it cannot be an expression. So this is very important. Actual parameter can be a value, like you have seen here. In the example you see it is written area 5. So you can write here 5, or you can write at the top before print statement, you can write here x equals to 5 and area of x. So you can use here value, variable or expression in this line 2. Line 2 is our actual parameter, is using the actual parameter 5 here, whereas line 1 is using side. This is our formal parameter. Clear? Now the next one is, explain the use of global keyword used in a function with the help of a suitable example. Now global keyword, once we use it, now that variable will become global, and inside the function or outside the function, that value will remain. So when we use any global keyword, suppose inside also, locally also, if we are using global keyword, like here you can see, if I write here global C, now the value of this will be used. So global value, normally the variables which are declared outside the program, outside the functions, outside the blocks, these are your global variables. And if any variable is declared inside the block, inside the function, it is a local variable. So since C is declared outside, it is a global variable, and we are using here the global C. So we have used a global keyword to use this variable C. Now C is our global variable. Now here this C will be 10 plus 2, that is 12, and now we can call it. So you can see here 12, and when C is declared here 15, so this value will become 15. So in main program we are using here 15. If you don't mention this here, then it will use the global value. Clear? So this is your global keyword which is used to use the global variables. Next is, rewrite the given following programs after removing all syntax errors. So you will write the correct program here. Now you can see what all mistakes are there. For is always a block, so colon is missing here. So all the mistakes, else will have small e. This will be elif. In Python we are using elif command, not else if. So elif will be there, and else is always having a colon, because else is also having a block in it, so colon will be there. So 4 mistakes you have found. In line 2 you will write, so you will write the correct program and you will underline the corrections. So you can see how to write the, here you can see the answer. So here the first mistake is colon is missing. Second mistake here, if I is small letter, always we will use the keywords as lowercase. Elif will be there and else will have a colon. So 4 mistakes are there, half of marks each. All these questions are of 2 marks. Now next is, what possible outputs are expected to be displayed on screen at the time of execution of the program from the following code. Also specify the maximum values that can be assigned to each of the variables lower and upper. So first, lower and upper maximum value, you can see random is used here. So here the maximum value will be 3 and here the maximum value will be 4 here. And minimum value we are starting from 1. So 1 will be the minimum value here and here 2 will be the minimum value. So only maximum they have asked, you have written the maximum. Now for x in range, lower can be from 1 to 3 and upper plus 1 means 2 to 4. Here, print. Now the list, AR list is there, K is our index, and with the hash sign we have to print. Now here the options they have given and we will check which option is correct. So always it is starting, minimum value is 1. 1 means from 30. So it cannot start with 20 here. It can start with 1, 2 or 3 index value. So here lower is 1, 2 and 3. That is, it can start with only 30, 40 and 50. So you check out wherever 30, 40 and 50 are given. Those will be the first value, those may be the correct answer. Then the next value will be after 30 you will have, and the upper limit is 4 plus 1, that is 5, that is still 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 60. So after 60 it will not print. Clear? So if the last value is 70, then it is wrong. So only 2 is the correct answer. You can see all the 3 are having last value as 70. So it is wrong. So the 2 is the correct answer. So answer is correct here. Now next is, what do you understand by candidate key in a table? So we will see this question. Give a suitable example of candidate key from a table containing some meaningful data. Now candidate keys are the keys or attributes which contains unique and not null values and which can serve as primary key. So all the non-key attributes, all the attributes which can serve as primary key uniquely can search the tuples in a relation are all the candidate keys. So let's see what CBSE has given the answer. A table may have more than one such attribute group of attributes that identifies a tuples uniquely. All such attributes are called candidate keys. So candidate keys can serve as primary key, that is, it can search the tuples uniquely. Now here you can see a table you have to give because they have given here suitable example of candidate key. So in this table the item number is unique and not null, and with item number you can search because item table is having null value. You cannot use item column. Here you can see item column is having a null value, whereas quantity is having a repeated value. So you cannot use quantity. So only INO here, INO will be the answer. So INO is the candidate to become a primary key. Next question is, you can have many candidate keys. Suppose in your class all the students are having unique admission number, unique roll number, unique name, unique address, unique means all are from different families, so they are having different address, different phone number. So anyone you can make primary key. So all are candidate to become primary key and all are having values. There should not be any null value. So but normally we are using roll number or admission number. It is easy for us to search. So any example you can write here. Next is differentiate between fetch one and fetch all. The name itself is telling you to fetch all the rows of the we will use fetch all, and to fetch or to return only one single row record, that is fetch one. So let us see the answer with suitable example you have to give. This normally we are using in our connectivity programs. You have already learned this. So fetch all fetches all the rows of a query result. An empty list is returned if there is no record to fetch the cursor. Fetch one method returns one row or a single record at a time. It will return none if no more rows records are available. Clear? So fetch one will return one by one record. If you want to access all, then we will use fetch all, or inside a for loop or while loop we will use fetch one, so that we can access one by one all the records. Clear? So this is of connectivity chapter. Now next is write the full form of DDL and DML. This already you know. DDL is data definition language, DML is data manipulation language, and commands of DML. So DDL already you have done, create, alter and drop, but here DML is asked. DML is select, insert, delete, update. So instead of writing select, we will write only insert, update and delete commands are the DML commands of SQL. Next is find and write the output of the following Python code. Now here we will solve this question. So let us solve this question. Find and write the output. So we will start from our main program. Always we have to start from the main program. So here you can see in this main program func so this is our, let me remove these lines. Yes, so we will start solving this. Now this is our red pen. So this is our data. Now here we are calling the function display and passing the string to str. M is empty. Now here from 0 to len means till the end. From first letter till the last letter, for loop will take out one by one letter. If it is uppercase, we will make it lowercase. If it is lowercase, we will make it uppercase. And if it is neither of these two, then we will come in else and we will check. If it is a numeric value, we will take out %2. If it is divisible by 2, then the string position will be the previous one, and if it is not divisible by 2, then one hash will come in that place. So here you can see F will become small letter as it is given, and the small letter will become capital letter. Alright. Now next is where at the rate will come, it will take the previous character. Now the previous character should be capital N, because we have already changed. Achha, we haven't changed. We are storing in M. So it will be small n. Yes, correct. So in place of at the rate, we will put small n, because we are storing in M. We are not changing the string here. We are storing the values in M. So string will have small n only. So at the rate will be replaced by small n. Then capital P will be replaced by small p. Small letters will be replaced by capital letters. Now 3.0. So here 3 is not divisible by 2. So hash will come here. In place of 3, hash will be there. Sorry, 3 is not divisible by 2. Yes, in place of 3, hash will come. And then even in place of at the rate also is not divisible. So here also hash will come. So it will be fun, and then hash will be there, and Python in 3 hash will be there, then in dot hash will be there, and in place of 0 only it will take the previous one. So what will be the answer here? Check the answer once again. F will be small, then U will be capital, N will be capital, then in place of at the rate you will have a hash sign, then P will be small, Python Y P H O N After that, 3 is not divisible by 2, so hash. Point is not, so hash. And 0 is divisible by 2, so here -1, that means dot. So this should be the answer. You once check it, run the program and check it and see. So the answer I think CBSE has given is wrong. Check this question once in your computer and then write in the comment once that it is correct or wrong. Now next question. So this is your section 1. So this is over. Section 1 of your part B. Descriptive part is over. So already we have done 10 questions today of 2 marks each. So 20 marks. So this is very important. Now the next section we will do in our next video. These all will be of 3 marks. Each 4 questions of 3 marks. So this we will do in our next video. So just keep discussing. In comment you write whatever doubts you are facing. So we will solve more such type of questions in our next videos. I will just discuss similar type of questions. So other sample papers we will make and we will discuss. Thank you. Have a nice day.